The battle lines are being drawn ahead of the Donald Trump impeachment trial. The case gets underway tomorrow in the U.S. Senate, but both sides have now released documents giving us a glimpse of their strategies as the trial moves ahead. The CBC's Katie Simpson joins us in Washington now with a look at what we can expect. Hey, Katie.
Hey.
Let's start with the president's defense strategy. What do we learn today?
Well, this is the first time we're actually getting a detailed glimpse of how President Trump's lawyers are going to argue his case. And it's a thorough document, about 110 pages, and it's very colorful, much like the president. Let's bring up some of the quotes from that defense strategy right now. Some of the arguments include, we've got some of the quotes here. Let me just pull them up on my phone and we can go along together. They say that they're going to argue that impeachment is an affront to the Constitution and our democratic institutions. They describe it as a rigged process, saying it is a brazenly political act by House Democrats that must be rejected, and that all of this is a dangerous perversion of the Constitution that the Senate should swiftly and roundly condemn. Now, how exactly will they be making that argument in court or at the Senate trial when those arguments do get underway? They'll be trying to make the argument that nothing that the president has been accused of is actually an impeachable offense. Donald Trump was impeached on two articles. One, abuse of power, and the way that Trump's team will argue against that. They will say nothing illegal happened here. The Democrats have just made this up. This does not qualify as an impeachable offense. And two, on obstruction of Congress, they're going to make that same argument, saying nothing impeachable happened here. The president was just executing the power of the executive office, and he was relying on advice from the Department of Justice. Now, to hammer home exactly how this is going to play out, Alan Dershowitz, who is one of the president's lawyers, was in a fiery sort of exchange on MSNBC today, where he was asked a couple of times, given the evidence that he's seen, does he think the president has committed an was there an abuse of power in his office? And listen to how Dershowitz answers this line of questioning.
Do you personally believe Donald Trump right now, with the evidence that you've seen in front of you, as one of his attorneys, abused his power? Yes or no?
I'm not going to answer that question yes or no. It's irrelevant. It's like asking me, do I think he's a good president? That's not what I'm here to discuss. This is not a political consideration. My issue is, do I think he committed an impeachable offense? And that's all I'm going to address myself to as his lawyer.
So his team is going to focus on the fact that they will argue that nothing that was done here was an impeachable offense. And he was very clear not to specifically answer the question about whether the president abused his office, but would only lean back on the fact that from his perspective, the president did not commit an impeachable offense.
So we've been saying, Katie, that tomorrow the trial starts in earnest in the Senate. What exactly does that mean? Like, what should we be expecting to take place?
Some housekeeping tomorrow, but it'll be interesting. The members of the Senate will be deciding how the trial is going to unfold. We have a little bit of new information about that. Mitch McConnell has laid out some ground rules, saying there are going to be 24 hours of opening arguments, 2 days to cover those opening arguments. He then wants to have some questioning by senators and then possibly a vote on whether to allow more witnesses or evidence. That, of course, is going to be the big push from Democrats. They got to swing over 4 Republicans to vote with them to allow more witnesses or evidence as well, Vashi.
All right, thanks, Katie. We'll be looking forward to your coverage tomorrow. Katie Simpson for us in Washington. Hi, I'm Vashi Capellos, host of Power in Politics. See more of our show by subscribing to the CBC News channel or click the link for another video.